This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
No, we didn't leave you. We were down and out last week. We're back. We had basketball last night, so let's get back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. It is a busy day. It's LCCC Day. Oh, by the way, being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne, Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way, Platte Valley Bank on Vanda High, as well at the corner of College and Pershing, Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Delrange, right across from Menards and Powers Field, Medicap Pharmacy, Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse, B&B Appliance and TV at 714 Central Avenue in Cheyenne, Lennox Auto Body on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard, both part of Lennox Enterprises, First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, Mondello's Pizzeria, open 7 days a week, Sundays noon until 8, Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D, in the Greenway Commons, and our scoreboard. It's a lengthy one. It's being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. We'll go to Nick first.
Well, we'll recap a bunch of LCCC athletics in action from last night, including at least soccer from today as well, and that will start with LCCC women's soccer, where last night getting it done, or at least yesterday against Monroe Community College. They won that contest in overtime 3-2, but today's contest against Monroe College, both teams out of the state of New York, but today, earlier this morning, part of the pool play in the national tournament. Unfortunately for LCCC women's soccer, their season has come to an end after a 3-2 loss against Monroe College. Men's soccer, however, from last night, they took care of business against KRAE Community College, winning 3-0. They will have a contest against Tyler Junior College happening in Tyler, Texas, coming up at 4:30 here today. Recapping basketball action from last night, we'll start with the men's side of things, a game that we had here on 1480 KRAE, where LCCC men's basketball at Northeastern Junior College, where unfortunately it was a loss for LCCC, 73-62. They moved to 1-5 overall. LCCC women's basketball on the road at Trinidad. They were taking on Trinidad State Junior College, the Lady, at least, Trojans, where LCCC got the victory in that contest, 66-57. They are 3-3 overall. NHL action for tonight. 2 games on the slate. We'll start with the Montreal Canadiens at home. They will host the Ottawa Senators. And last but not least, New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden. They will play host to the Washington Capitals. That will happen at 6 o'clock tonight, and you can see it on NBC Sports Network. And that's what's happening in NHL action for tonight.
Let's move on to the NBA. There is a full slate of games on the schedule for this evening. And here's what's happening for tonight. We go first to Washington and the Capital One Arena as the Wizards will entertain the San Antonio Spurs. Knicks 76ers in the Wells Fargo Arena. Magic Raptors in the Scotiabank Arena. Bucks Hawks at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, GA. Cavs Heat at American Airlines Arena in Miami. Hornets and the Nets in the Barclays Center. Warriors will continue their road swing. They will take on the Mavericks after a win last night in the FedEx Forum against the Grizz. They'll be at American Airlines Center. Pistons Bulls in the United Center. Jazz Timberwolves in the Target Center. Rockets and the Nuggets tonight in the can at the Pepsi Center. And it will be the Celtics taking on the Clippers. That will be at Staples. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
I'm Nate.
And I'm Kate.
And we're not just literal taste buds. We're best buds.
And there's nothing that we love more than a
cool,
crisp,
deliciously refreshing Pepsi.
Sure, we live inside your mouth.
But that doesn't mean we don't enjoy the finer things.
Hey, Nate. Pepsi incoming!
Here it comes!
Tastes so good.
Tell me about it.
So,
amazing.
That's what I was thinking.
It's like we share the same mouth, Kate.
Forever and ever, Nate.
Make your taste buds happy and pick up a delicious, refreshing Pepsi.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY-FM and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. 10 years ago, the Department of Defense selected High West Energy to provide electricity on F.E. Warren Air Force Base. For a decade, we have been proud to work hand in hand with the Air Force leadership to ensure we provide the base with the affordable, reliable power it needs to be an economic driver for the region and serve a vital national security interest for this country. High West Energy, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
Welcome to the biggest thing in tacos since tacos. Introducing the Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. That's right, we said it. Perfecto. That's Spanish for perfect. We redesigned it with an aerodynamic shell to give you the best bite every bite. Choose between seasoned to perfection beef, chili lime chicken, or upgrade to hand-carved sirloin steak. Sure, it was hard to perfect, but it's easy to eat. The Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with snow likely throughout the day with highs around 26. For tonight, it'll be cloudy once again with snow likely throughout the evening with lows around 18 and winds out of the north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Thursday, it'll be more of the same with cloudy skies with highs around 26. And on Thursday night, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 16.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
Well, last night we had LCCC men's basketball on. We will have men's basketball on coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, along with women's basketball, 3 o'clock hour. We haven't had a chance to talk volleyball in a while, and we have LCCC women's volleyball coach Keri joining us. And I know, Coach, when I saw you last week when we were in the rack getting ready to do women's basketball, I don't want to say the dauber was down a little bit, but you were expected to still be playing right now. I mean, this is a credit to your young ladies. Rough start out of the blocks, but I mean, they really, really picked up the tempo. You have to be very proud of this group.
Yeah, of course. It was hard to know that we finished out a couple Thursdays ago, and I think the locker room afterward definitely showed that the girls were not ready to be done by any means.
Well, and talk about, at least before we get into the Region 9 tournament happening down there at Northeastern Junior College this past at least couple of weekends ago, but, talk about Region 9 action. Once you got into competition, post non-conference, taking on all those top 25 nationally ranked opponents, but getting that confidence, again, getting a few contests there at the rack or going throughout the state of Wyoming, taking a few on the road against Casper College or the likes of Western Wyoming, whoever it may be. But, just talk about the night and day difference between non-conference to Region 9 action for your squad this season.
Yeah, the preseason definitely felt like we were just fighting for any point we could really get our hands on. And we really, as much as it was kind of a struggle with the record book, we fought hard and we scored a lot of points. But once Region 9 started, we got to take a deep breath and we got to actually kind of catch up on some stuff. Our connections got together, our chemistry. And so it just felt like we were more in control of what we were trying to put together. The girls' game plan, systems, that kind of stuff. You could just see what we were able to achieve as a team statistically, all that, and it felt like we kind of got to be who we wanted to be, and I was really proud of the way we played for our region stuff.
We always ask the student athletes, what they got out of the season. Your first year here with the Laramie County Community College, tell us a little bit, the expectations were when you took the position, and tell us a little bit what you got out of this year as the head coach.
I think the expectations were still to keep LCCC as kind of a contender that everybody really still thought about. And I think that we still got the best games. The preseason still showed that our tournaments were having host schools schedule us back to back, make us play them at the last point, make us play them at the host, best time for their crowd. So I think a lot of people respected us in that aspect, and I appreciated that because it said a lot about what they expected for myself as a coach coming in. I definitely learned a lot from just the girls in general this year, how to kind of put us all together, starting late with all of them, coming in kind of a little bit later than you would think, and basically having the sophomores be so new to me, the freshmen definitely new to me. It felt like it took us a while to just kind of get our rhythm going, and that was a lot of late nights for me, a lot of statting, a lot of video, reading, everything I could get my hands on just to kind of figure out where it was that we were falling just short each time. So I just appreciated that, it was stressful in the way that I like it to be. I want to improve myself every time I get a chance to, and I just appreciated the effort that the girls, they followed me unconditionally, and I really appreciate that they didn't question it. They just went for it. We worked really hard to kind of build ourselves mentally as well as physically, and I think that helped us towards the end to just kind of connect. So
Coach, let me finish on this real quick here, Coach. Let me ask this question too, as you made the point about your Lady Golden Eagles, and again how everything all came together. You look back on this season as the first year head coach, but did it open doorways for you as far as recruiting? Because again, this is almost a 365-day-a-year job is recruiting. But did you see doors opening to markets that you never thought of, that, hey, I can possibly, get this position filled? And the second part of my question, thinking back to when you were a player, has the game changed that much?
So in terms of recruiting, I think since most of my experience is mostly Idaho and kind of Utah area, and that is definitely had a chance recently to watch the Wyoming stuff, so the region tournament that Cheyenne Central hosted, and it was fun to watch that part, having a lot of local kids reach out, having the coaches reach out and get to know me. So I feel like the networking has grown tremendously in that area. Plus we've had a lot of Colorado kids reaching out too, and it just feels like our location allows for that already, but knowing that I see some players trusting what we're trying to accomplish and watching us and kind of seeing what our players have been able to achieve individually has led to some confidence in what we're still trying to produce for next season. And
part two of the question again, just to repeat myself, has the game changed much since you've last played?
I think I feel like the game is somewhat the same. I feel like the speed and everything of the players has changed. People jump so much higher, the bigger, faster, stronger. It's crazy. I think that's for every sport, like we talked about earlier. So I think you kind of notice a little bit of a difference in terms of systems. Do we run faster offenses with middle blockers? We don't set us high to the outside hitter. I think everybody's trying to run it just a little faster, see what kind of an edge you can get on another team. It's a game of inches, so if you're able to kind of accomplish one more inch than another team, it's basically going to be all about control and speed.
Well, here we are post your first year as head coach at LCCC, and we look towards right now, again, 2020 LCCC women's volleyball, an exciting season, at least what's to come next year for LCCC. But what changes, without going into specifics, whether it is non-conference, not being so aggressive of that top 25 grueling non-conference schedule, what changes what we'll see regarding scheduling, non-conference recruiting, coaching style, coaching philosophy, if anything at all, for 2020?
I think some of the preseason was already kind of set in stone when I first got here, so it was kind of like we just did what we had to do. I don't know that I'd actually change too much of it, though. I want to see the top teams. If we're going to get to a level that I want us to be at, we've got to be able to face that, and the only time we're going to do it is preseason. I do think it's nice for us to find some that aren't maybe as hard on us travel-wise. Trying to get there by bus is a little difficult when it gets past that 8-hour mark, because that's enough for us. But, I think we'll probably repeat the Yavapai tournament down in Prescott, Arizona. I think that, if we had another chance maybe a couple weeks later to play some of those teams, I think we would have finished a little bit better than we did. So I'm looking forward to playing some of those teams again. I think we'll be successful in that area. So it's kind of changing up some of that. Also, we had quite a few Tuesday night matches, and that just spread our week out so thin. It felt like you never really got to have the slow Monday where we can kind of just catch our breath from the weekend and that. So kind of adjusting some of our Tuesday matches to see if we can't handle a Thursday here or there, kind of adjust the schedule.
And here we are. We stand post at least regular season and postseason for LCCC volleyball. But for you, Coach, what does now the month of November, December, January, February on, at least until we get ready for 2020 season, what's kind of on the scheduling right now for you? What is kind of the main focuses for you as a head coach?
Some of the big stuff is recruiting, obviously bringing in players and talking to them, but it's also helping our sophomores figure out where they're moving on to next. So working on a lot of highlight films for them, kind of working with them on who they connect with and who I need to touch base with on their behalf. So it's definitely recruiting on both ends on that side of it. Also scheduling our spring season is big, but I was kind of surprised at how quickly some of the other coaches were sending their tournament invitations out just as soon as they possibly could to make sure we got us scheduled. So it's almost like we're handling next year's schedule before I even take care of the spring. Then we've got to get our girls on a workout plan for the winter and make sure that they stay in condition the way they should. So.
You had a chance to see volleyball here, obviously on the local side with, teams from, the 4A region. Things that you saw with maybe some of the locals that you liked and possibilities that they may be going to that next level at LCCC?
Yeah, I've never seen Wyoming high school volleyball, so it was a pleasant surprise to just walk into a gym and see how athletic they all were. You can just tell that they're just a step away from being college players themselves, and I was impressed with some of them. The jump, their ability to kind of turn a ball and understand the IQ of the game. It was impressive to watch. We got to watch all three of the Cheyenne schools play kind of against each other and in the region tournament. It was just made you feel good to know that they're in your backyard and you have some of those to choose from.
Yeah, as we talk about how historic it was for you, at least, Coach Coates, again, your first season as the head coach here at LCCC, just give me at least a recap more on the positive side of things, the memorable moment for this 2019 campaign for yourself, whether it was the trip down to Arizona, getting your first victory as a head coach. What was kind of the standout moment for you as a head coach this season?
Oh, standout moments for me. I think it just kind of felt like it was all going so fast that it's hard to pick up on different ones, but I think that what kind of sticks out to me is more so how proud I am of some of our individual players. Some of the records that were set this year, just knowing like, holy crap, you guys put up some big numbers, and just in our attacking and our setting and our defensive play, it was amazing. And I think what makes me proud is to actually be able to kind of nominate them at the end of the year and get to argue why they should be a region player, why they should be an All-American. So I think that those are the things that stick out to me. I watch film now that it's all over, and I'm like, oh my gosh, good job. You're just a few points shy every time, and I know that our region tournament, I was proud. We put it all on the line. We definitely, statistically, if you go back and look, there was very few things that we did incorrectly. So if anything, I'm just proud of the way that we went out. We battled. We went 5 with NJC for the 3rd time this season, and they're the 2nd team to go from our region for the national tournament. So you got to be proud of the girls for the effort that they put in with that.
Well, we've been talking with Keri Coates. She is the head coach of the LCCC Lady Golden Eagles. When we come back, we're going to take a timeout. We are going to chat with one of her sophomores who has played her final ball at LCCC, McKayla Earl, a former Rollins Lady Outlaw, and we will have her coming up right after these words here on 1480 KRAE. The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Delrange, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Give your family and friends the gift of safety and security this holiday season with B&B Appliances' lineup of Ring doorbells and security cameras. Monitor your surroundings from the convenience of your phone or tablet. Any customer who purchases one of their connected home products will receive a free Google Mini while supplies last. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Ave. Best brands, hometown service.
MHP is a certified public accounting and consulting firm located in both Cheyenne and Fort Collins, offering accounting, tax, and consulting services to businesses, not-for-profit, government, and individual clients. MHP takes pride in their commitment to providing close, personal attention to their clients. They also continue to invest time and resources in continuing education, state-of-the-art computer technology, and valuing their relationships with you. MHP is a proud supporter of local and UW athletics. MHP, 314 West 18th Street, or call 634-2151.
Hi, I'm Tristan Johnson, mortgage lender at Platte Valley Bank. A home is more than where you live. It's where you make a life. At Platte Valley Bank, we have tailored home loan products paired with great rates and friendly people so you can focus on making memories, not paperwork. I will work with you every step of the way to find the mortgage product that is right for you. Stop by Platte Valley Bank at 3310 North College Drive in Cheyenne or visit www.pvbank.com to get started today.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
On with our Wyoming Sports Talk today, LCCC Lady Golden Eagles volleyball, as we talk to McKayla Earl, who is a sophomore at LCCC, former Lady Outlaw with Rollins High School. And again, nice thing for McKayla, she got to do her volleyball, at least here in the Cowboy State, for a couple of years after high school. But McKayla, first, thanks for joining us. And let me ask you, we always like to do this, we're nosy. What are you majoring in over at LCCC?
I am currently majoring in education, but I'm kind of leaning towards the elementary education route, so I'm not sure right now, but right now it's strictly education.
Well, you certainly got time, but at least a few more years of at least kind of get that all at least situated. But, we talk about at least you from Rollins. Here in the Cowboy State, we have many options, whether it is Division I with the University of Wyoming, JUCOs, especially as we look just west to at least of Rollins with Western Wyoming. You got Central Wyoming, all sorts of JUCOs around here. But why LCCC? When you were in high school trying to figure out what you want to do to continue that volleyball career, why did you decide on LCCC?
So I started the recruiting process really late, coming from a small town. It was kind of hard for me to get out there. We didn't have like the club that everyone plays down in Colorado, Utah, those areas. I didn't have a club that I could travel 5 minutes to go to practice 2 nights a week to do. It would have been like a 2.5-hour drive 3 days a week. Kind of was too much of a struggle to get into, so I started really late into the recruiting process. And as I started looking into Wyoming, also like in-state tuition was a big factor in that. And so I started looking at records of community colleges in Wyoming, and I noticed that LCCC, I knew a lot of the girls that had moved on and played at LCCC that year, so I kind of just leaned towards that. But I also looked out of the state, but I just felt more at home still in Wyoming, so I stayed here.
You, as a freshman, did not play a lot with Coach Albers, and then enter Coach Coates, who comes in, and, you're a sophomore. A lot more is expected of you, as we were talking off air. You know the drill after one season of volleyball. Tell us a little bit what Coach Coates brought to the table that helped you be a better volleyball player.
I think it started with more of she broke down skill more aggressively than we did before. My freshman year, we kind of just went into practice and did high intensity drills, didn't really break down let's work on serve receive for 20 minutes and really get that down, and let's work on getting that connection with the setters and hitters. We never really worked on that consistently. So I think that was a big part that helped me anyways. I got to break down my one skill that I knew I had to focus on every game, and I pretty much mastered it. I mean, I felt confident every game, every practice, going in there and just taking balls from people, basically.
And we would be remiss if we not ask you of what position do you play, or at least what position did you play your time here at LCCC?
I played DS Libero.
Was that something that you also too played in at least high school out in Rollins?
Actually, I played setter right side for Rollins. It was kind of a different shift for me when I came to college, but it was actually kind of cool because I got to really focus on one skill instead of having to play all of them, basically. And so I think that's what helped me a lot, is just being able to break down the one skill instead of working on setting to my hitters and then hitting. So I really enjoyed that part of the game.
Something we've talked with, whether it is soccer players, men and women for LCCC, basketball players for both men and women, but we'll ask you the same question, McKayla, here of going from Rollins playing here in the state of Wyoming to LCCC, competing against, we look at the non-conference of taking on top 25 going across the nation essentially, and also to competing at least throughout the state of Wyoming against the other JUCOs. But was there a noticeable difference between the high school ranks going up to JUCO? Was that adage of bigger, stronger, faster felt on the court by you, McKayla?
It definitely was. I know when I was in high school, we liked to go to like the 4A tournaments. I was 3A in high school, so one class lower than the 4A teams. But obviously the 4A teams are going to be much stronger than us. And we like to compete at those tournaments preseason, kind of like we did in this preseason. We went to those higher ranked teams and played against them. And I think that helped. So that was kind of like, that was the same when I came to college. I mean, obviously it was different levels of play, but it was kind of like the same. Like we moved up from 3A to 4A to play, and then like basically the same type of thing this season. So,
McKayla, here it is. Your career at LCCC is over. What's next? Do you want to continue on, or have you? And again, without letting cats out of the bag, but is the next step D1, D2? What are you looking at?
Right now, I do want to play on. Like, I love the game. I don't think I'm ready to be done. 2 years wasn't long enough for me, so I think at least 2 more is what I'm looking for. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I want to do right now. I have a few schools in mind, but it's just basically all up in there right now. It's what better offer has to come, I guess.
And Coach mentioned too that she's busy breaking down film, so obviously you're going to be talking with Coach quite a bit and getting out the greatest hits of McKayla Earl. So do you have to send it out? Would you mind being a walk-on at the next institution, or obviously you'd like to get that scholarship, but if you had your dream school to go to, would you want to stay here in Wyoming? Is there another school in mind that you've thought about?
I think I definitely, if it was the perfect school, perfect team, I would definitely walk on, and I would make the money thing work. I mean, if you love the game, you love the game, so you got to do what you got to do. But I don't really have that big dream school right now. I mean, I'm sure as I look into it more, I will find that school. But right now, I'm kind of just keeping my eyes open to what positions teams are needing right now and how I could benefit playing for that program and how they could benefit from having me in their program.
It's almost like reading the classified ads right now.
Yeah, I guess so. But either way, though, McKayla, we wish you the best of luck, and hopefully you are able to move on to that next level and take your talents to wherever school at least is looking and will use you to the benefit and continue your volleyball career. But something that I want to ask you, where we talk and you can hear it in your voice, the passion for volleyball and continuing your career and wanting to do it on the next level outside of JUCO. But with softball, with soccer available, basketball, swimming, you got cross country, volleyball, you got so many options for sports. Why volleyball? Why did you decide on volleyball, and why so passionate for volleyball?
I grew up with my mom being a volleyball coach. She actually coached me all 4 years of high school. She started when I was literally 8 months pregnant, or when she was 8 months pregnant with me. I remember her telling me she taught a pancake 4 weeks before I was born. So that kind of started like way before I was even born, and I kind of was just a gym rat. I followed her to practices. I would hit the ball against the wall. I mean, it wasn't clean or anything, but that made me love the game even more. And I was a multi-sport athlete in high school, but I just fell in love with volleyball so much that I didn't want to play any other sport. I wanted to continue with volleyball.
Well, we wish you all the best. We hope you will go to that next level. And again, thank you for all that you did during your career at LCCC. McKayla, Earl, along with head coach Keri Coates, join us here on 1480 KRAE. We want to thank them both for coming in, and we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more right after this here on 1480 KRAE.
Relieve your stress. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne. With a new Kia vehicle, you get one of the best warranties in America. The new 2019 Kia Sorento comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. 2019 Kia Sorento gives you up to 122 cubic feet of cargo space, 7-passenger seating, available all-wheel drive, and wireless charging for your devices. Come into Kia of Cheyenne, call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or a retailer for details.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
If it happens on the diamond, the hardwood, the field, or even the ice, we'll talk about it on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hi, this is Nick Peretti inviting you to join Larry Peretti and myself each weekday from 3 to 5 p.m. as we, along with our special guests, talk sports locally, regionally, and nationally. And you can chat with us too at 307-514-1071. It's Wyoming Sports Talk today only on 1480 KRAE, and you can stream live with us at 1480krae.com.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Do you want the peace of mind of a professionally installed security camera system? Then go with a name you trust, High West Digital Solutions, a High West energy company. The experienced team at High West Digital Solutions will customize a video security system for you, helping you keep an eye on everything going on inside or outside your home or business. Go to hwds.com or call 307-245-4333. High West Digital Solutions, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with snow likely throughout the day with highs around 26. For tonight, it'll be cloudy once again with snow likely throughout the evening with lows around 18 and winds out of the north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Thursday, it'll be more of the same with cloudy skies with highs around 26. And on Thursday night, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 16.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Well, a lot went on in the sporting world since we last talked to you, whether it's on the national scene, the collegiate scene, or even on the prep scene. And matter of fact, while we were
last action I was at was at least semifinals, I should say. Of
we both got sick, coming back from July.
Yeah,
I was already. I'll admit it. I caught it from somebody else. That bronchial crap that's going around. It settled in both. It hit you worse than me.
Yeah, so I was out a complete week and whatnot, so that's why we didn't have Wyoming Sports Talk today. No Golden Age of Radio. It was pretty much everything.
I did
everything
a basketball game as best I could last Tuesday. But let's go to the Class 4A, and I was shocked because you, me, and Chris were there. We saw Mason Hamilton go down against Shinies, come out in a sling, and we were told that he probably would not be playing the next sport.
Yeah, he was pretty much done for quite some time with the injury that he got against Shinies.
Guess what?
Well, again, it was Thunder Basin versus Sheridan in the Class 4A, at least state championship game in Laramie this past weekend, where Sheridan at least took care of business. We'll just say that again, folks. If you've been hiding under a rock, the Broncs are your at least Class 4A state champions. But
fourth time in the last 5 years, by the way.
Again, as we go through Class 3A, 2A, 1A, it's kind of the same faces. Again, no real parity throughout the state of Wyoming on at least in high school football. But again, give kudos to Sheridan again, at least under new head coach, at least Jeff Mowry, getting it done again. Sheridan just knows how to win. They know how to get red hot at that right time and take care of business. But, give credit to Thunder Basin and also to one Mason Hamilton, where we thought
we
thought Thunder Basin had no prayer. We saw their backup quarterback against Cheyenne East have difficulties against that East High defense, where if he was going to be the starter against Sheridan, Thunder Basin had no prayer. That game could have gotten at least ugly in our eyes before that game actually got underway Saturday. But 35-26. Give credit to Thunder Basin and the Bolts and Mason Hamilton, who barely played.
And the Bolts committed 4 turnovers, and to Sheridan's credit, they capitalized on those TOs. So, this was if you look at Sheridan football, and which I've seen over the years, they are a very opportunistic team. You make one mistake, you're going to get toasted for it. And again, Sheridan made the most of all those mistakes by Thunder Basin. Oh, by the way, with Sheridan winning their 4th title in the last 5 years, their 27th title in school history. This is a marquee football program. We always think of Cheyenne Central, in the days of Okie Blanchard, and you move up to Coach McLeod and Coach Roney, and you just add all the names to the list. And there's a lot of state championships football-wise for Cheyenne Central. This program in Sheridan, and especially in my time being here in the 33, 34 years now, I've seen them win a lot of state flags. This is a pretty good outfit up there in Sheridan.
Well, it is something for Sheridan that they're passionate. The fan base gets out there. Again, they have good products. Some of those products now play for the University of Wyoming. So it's a situation that it's no surprise. Or at least the unfortunate thing is that there is no surprise that Sheridan is your state champions once again. And this is a team that, again, could have had it 5 years in a row if they didn't slip up against Natrona County last season. But, give credit to Sheridan. They know what it takes to get it done, advance into the playoffs, and eventually win that state title and overcome any odds. Again, they were looking up against Thunder Basin, number 1 team in Class 4A through the entire season. A team that I thought that the Bolts could have won it all. But I still, again, if you had a healthy 100% Mason Hamilton, could have been a different story.
Yeah.
I don't think Mason Hamilton was even close to being 75% in that game. There's no way. After the injury he sustained.
I tip my cap to the young man because, again, we saw what happened to him.
Yeah.
And, again, he was not moving that shoulder whatsoever. And, again, they had the sling where he was, for that second half. So, again, whether it was precautionary, whether we got wrong information here nor there, but, again, the kid was injured and made it back, 8 days later in Laramie to lead his team to almost victory.
But for Sheridan, though, getting that victory, how about that for Thunder Basin's first loss? It happened in the state title game. And that's where you want that first loss to happen there. And, again, Sheridan is your state champions in Class 4A coming up in 2020 where things, we'll see what happens. Again, high school football as we now preview, at least in Class 4A, as we get ready for that, again, coming up in August. But I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of familiar names again up top.
I think there might be a shifting in power.
The East of the world. I think the only team that could trend downwards is probably that Thunder Basin Bolts team because, again, you had a lot of seniors, a lot of at least vets that moved on from the Campbell County days.
Right.
You might see, again, Mason Hamilton is no longer going to be your QB there for the Bolts. That might be the team that might shift downwards just a bit.
I think Natrona is trending downward as well right now.
I think so. I think that at least this season we saw that they're very mortal, that they are very beatable, that they are a fortunate team or take advantage in slight situations. But, you look at more so the 3 teams here in Cheyenne. I think East is fine. East gets a little bit older, but again, you still have Graydon Buell at the helm for one more season. We'll see what
Hesford will be
Hesford
on the
there
outside.
again. A lot of big names returning to East, so East should be still at the top so to speak, in 2020.
How about Central?
Offensively,
I think they
Central,
lose just Dawson McCleary.
Yeah.
Offensively.
And that's
a big loss.
It's a big loss, and we'll see what at least Coach Apodaca does to prepare what direction he goes post the McCleary era there at Cheyenne Central. But you got a lot of familiar names, a lot of key pieces that still remain a part of this dominant team, where Central, I think, is going to be up there with East of kind of flirting around with probably top 3 teams.
Well, and again, if you fill in that quarterback piece, because you've got the receivers, you got the Storbo twins, you got Johnson. You got the Talich youngster. And again, he's the youngest of that group. They're all juniors except for Talich. He was a sophomore this year. So, again, you look at all of the targets plus Lobatos, your running back.
And granted, you got also to his brother as well, too, that we saw, again, with Jackson when he came into those contests. Again, he's a freshman. He's going to be a dominant force for Mike Apodaca at Cheyenne Central on the defensive side specifically, where, again, Jackson was phenomenal, just like Carter was, just like his brother was on the defense as well. So I think East and Central are fine in 2020. They are 2 teams that, yes, will be playoff bound, will have good, I think, above 500 seasons without a doubt.
Yeah. Again, you got Buell. He's going to be a 4th-year starting quarterback.
Yeah.
As a senior. We did see the Feeser kid. He was a freshman this year for Cheyenne Central. So if he, again, at 6'5", and he looked green out there, but he can throw the football.
Yeah.
And again, Coach Apodaca likes to spread it around. So, again, all of these working pieces offensively are coming back. Just need to plug in that quarterback. And again, it's going to be hard to replace a Dawson McCleary, but you got all season. If you are going to go with the Feeser youngster, again, 6'5". That's a pretty doggone good-sized quarterback, especially for the high school ranks. So
yeah, without a doubt. So
looking forward to that. And then you got South.
It's South. The big thing with Cheyenne South,
they're losing some good players.
They're losing key pieces to a team that is struggling.
And
they
only had a few seniors on there too. But Kari Wright comes to mind. Soto's another.
The thing with Cheyenne South though is big changes need to happen. Whether it is a change of culture, changing of the guard, so to speak. Or, again, finding some way to get players out, get them enthused for South High football. Something big needs to change before 2020 rolls around, or at least that regular season before Week 0 starts in Class 4A. Something needs to happen. And whether it is, again, as we've been proponents, or at least trying to say, hey, Activities Association, even though it kind of falls on deaf ears with that.
You should consider.
You should consider that Cheyenne South desperately needs to move down a class.
Yeah.
Hell, you could move up Star Valley. Star Valley, who, again, dominates, again, is part of 4A in basketball, who, again, is your Class 3A champions, who seems to do pretty well on that side, at least there in Class 4A, and kind of be a dominant force year in and year out. Could it be something that Class 3A, or at least, hey, Star Valley, again, we know it's population or something like that, but I think you take it more into advantage of, hey, they're dominating. What else do they need to prove? Move them up to be a little bit more of a challenge for Star Valley to test their might, and let South be competitive, gain back numbers, and try to get folks enthused for South High football and let them sit down and
too, as you're saying, Nick, absolutely. As you're coming over from Johnson with the triads, these kids that are 6th, 7th, 8th graders, and obviously the 8th graders will be 9th graders next year, and they're playing sports now at Johnson.
Yeah,
and They know what happened on the football side. I mean, we were talking earlier, you and myself, I think, out of the 9 games this year, a half dozen of them were running clocks.
That seems like majority of them for South.
That's not fun to have a beat down. And
this is not a 2019 thing. This is a 2018, 2017 when I got here again. However
it's been
long
going on for a while.
It's been a while for Cheyenne South, where it is something that for the Fighting Bison, things need to change in a big way. Whatever that big way is, it needs to happen soon enough.
The student athletes need to pony up to the bar and either go out for the athletic events or, just, I don't want to say bag the program, but you're right. It's going to have to change.
Yeah.
Because, again, and we were talking about it last night when we were going down to Sterling on the basketball side. Remember when East played South? East scored 8 consecutive times they had the football.
Yeah.
That's 56 points. Okay?
Unprecedented in not even high school football, but in football in general.
But that's not the key thing that happened. the key thing was East brought over 50-plus kids, and there was only 30 that were dressed out home for South.
Yeah.
And I think there was a couple, 3 injuries at that time. So, again, the numbers have to pick up for Cheyenne South. And again, we
talk about the numbers for Cheyenne South. We even saw it with Laramie when they came over and played Cheyenne Central. That Laramie also too is a program that is hurting right now.
Their numbers were way down.
They are very down. But the ironic thing, and it's something that as you're talking about it, and something that popped in my mind is the conversation, or at least the Natrona loss to Cheyenne Central, of the excuse used by at least the coaching staff up there of we were injured. And sick, and that's why we fell apart to Cheyenne Central. You didn't hear those excuses by Dan Gallus. You didn't hear those from at least Clinton Reed from Laramie. No, it was a situation where they both teams got their brains beaten. Again, not painting a pretty picture here. Again, let's be honest. Both Laramie and South, they took their lickings this year.
Oh yeah,
they were embarrassed in many games, without a doubt. But not once did you hear Clint Reed or Dan Gallus say, hey, it was our numbers, it's our injuries, it's our sicknesses. No, this is just our football program. We're going out there and we're going to do the best that we can.
And we're building kids into men, as they, basically what it was. They're trying to teach them more than just football, and that's fine and well too. I don't have a problem with that, but also too, as and I go one step further with that kind of analogy. You've got kids, because again, you only got one entity to draw from. That's Johnson.
Yeah.
And you're going to have that 8th grade class become freshmen next year. South is growing. The South Side is growing. We were seeing last night they're, building more out there.
Yeah.
The thing is to get the kids enthused, and again, they see it. Parents see it too. Parents are probably more of the naysayers than the kids are. Because, again,
parents also, too, have that option, especially here in the city of Cheyenne, where we are bound to boundaries. Again, that is determining of you're either going to KRAE, you're going to McCormick, you're going to Johnson. That means you're going to South, Central, or East. We're seeing parents being that determining factor of,
no, it's not going to happen. I'm moving.
Yeah, I don't want to be in that South District. East is doing well. All right, I'll go over there.
Yeah,
I'll find some available property,
and that's
or something.
And that's not cool.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, too, parents in the South area, they're seeing these games, and they're seeing scores of these games. They're hearing these games, whatever. And it's like, I don't know if I really want my children participating in athletics.
Yeah.
Out there. So yeah, you're right. I mean, there's a lot of intangibles that go along with all of this. But, again.
And it's something that I'm saying is more an outcry, whether it is towards those parents, student athletes at Johnson or South, but also, too, again, administration out there, whether it starts with AD Mark Puev, and also, too, head coach Dan Gallus. There needs to be a massive culture change there at Cheyenne South, where you need potential student athletes to get enthused about South High football. And how you do that, again, that is the big question mark. That is the big intangible right now for the Fighting Bison of how do you get them enthused?
Well, also,
what else needs to change out there in order to get those folks out?
I think a dropping in class. I really believe it. I know, again, the numbers don't bode in favor of South, but I think just for, let the program get built. I mean, look at Star Valley.
I think the numbers is a complete garbage. Excused by that Teachers Association. How does Star Valley play in 4A basketball, but yet competes in 3A football?
Yeah, they're 12-0 this year. They won their 13th state title.
Yeah,
they're back-to-back champions. But again, there's nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong that Cheyenne South goes from 4A to 3A. I don't have a problem with that.
I think
Evanston didn't have a problem. Green River didn't have a problem with it. So
I have a problem as well, too, as you go down in lower classes, especially when we talk with head coach Brad Morrison, where, again, something you asked him as we at least previewed their semifinal matchup with Mountain View.
Yeah.
Mountain View is a much larger population, or at least school enrollment, compared to Burns. And look what happened in that contest. Again, Burns gave them a fight, but it was not even close. It was an unfortunate blowout in favor of Mountain View, which I do believe Mountain View is your 2A champions. No surprise.
Oh, you had Buffalo in 2A. There's no reason for Buffalo to be in 2A.
I think the school numbers and the population is a complete garbage.
It's a farce?
It really is by the Activities Association, where it is something more behind the scenes. And I think that's on it, at least the honest truth of just how we're looking at this. Why can't South move down? Why can't they? And you move up Star Valley.
And that's either up to South.
Could you move up Evanston? Could you move up Green River? I don't know.
And again, I don't know how the politics work in that. Because, again, we'd have to talk to all three athletic directors. And, of course, we can't get any response from the Wyoming High School Activities Association commissioner. But, again, how does that all work? And, again, does South have to request it? Does it go before a board? I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but again, it's just...
And it's something we may have to talk with Mark Puev coming up next week.
And again, it's not a beat down on South. It's just facts and realistic. And I don't like... I don't like calling those
It
games.
is not a beat down towards Cheyenne South or putting that school down or that athletic department down or anything.
No.
It's more so of that we care and that this is something that for those student athletes, for those young men and women... And again, that encompasses a lot of sports out there that are also struggling outside of just the majors of basketball and football. Again, whether it is soccer, where we saw last year soccer getting their first ever conference win.
Or tennis. They showed well in tennis this year.
Well,
but you got another sport coming, softball.
Yeah, without a doubt. But again, there are other sports as well, though, at Cheyenne South that it struggle, where it is something that they have a case where we need to change a culture out there. We need something massive to change in order for Cheyenne South to be competitive, to give those student athletes a chance. To have, again, where they're not getting embarrassed day in and day out. That they're losing that passion for that sport. As we talk with McKayla Earl of, hey, from day one I was passionate about that sport. I knew I was going to do it, and I committed to it.
Right.
And stuck with it. Where you might have folks at Cheyenne South saying, wow, they were 1-8 this year.
Yeah,
or they got one win.
It's not number one on my priority list.
I got better things to do. I'm not showing up. And obviously we've seen it's affecting numbers. Go back to infancy of last year of 2018 where we talked about how many times I updated of saying, hey, freshman, sophomore JV games got canceled for Cheyenne South due to lack of numbers. Then the proof is in the pudding, so to speak, with Cheyenne South, that they need help. They need some change, some massive change. And whatever that may be, again, that question is up in the air of what direction it should be for Cheyenne South, but it needs to happen immediately.
And again, we will never, ever diss on the facilities are wonderful up there.
Brand new.
And again, your youngster that is coming over from Johnson is stepping into, I don't want to say a palatial palace, but, the school is still young.
Yeah,
it's still in great
Johnson's
shape.
a lot older than South is.
Yeah,
I've been to Johnson. It's not a cakewalk out there. But again, it is not subpar facilities. Basketball gym's phenomenal. You got again a swimming at least pool that again is pretty fantastic. Again, the football field brand new. You have no issues. It's just something that again on this end for Cheyenne South. Something needs to happen, though.
And again, I would hope that we're just not just tooting our own horns here. I would hope there are other folks that would stand, in line with us on that because, again, when you go, I know when we schedule South, I'm excited to go out there and call their game. I'm excited to see the Fighting Bison play.
And I expected South to be a little bit more competitive than they were this year.
I was hoping they would be this year.
I really thought, again, with the vets that they had coming back, with the names that we saw, again, like Soto, Soto was a big, at least, issue with him going down and having that injury.
But you had Hunter Scott, you had Keri Wright.
You had vets a part of this team that I had, again, a little bit higher expectations in Class 4A for them to do a little bit better, but it proved that, again, numbers caught up with them, injuries caught up with them, and that team just couldn't find the right footing. Again, their one win was against a Laramie team that was in the same boat as them of dealing with numbers and dealing with injuries.
And bottom line is they got to win. That was all that was important, this year to, at least salvage that season. Real quick here, if you missed out last night, and coming up at the 4 o'clock hour, we will be talking here with head coach Jason Ficca. We will flop it around this year on our LCCC coaches show. We'll have the men first, and then the women's coach Brian Ortmeier join us around 4:30. But Cowboys were in action last night.
Oh, boy.
Well, they snapped their 3-game losing streak. And again, just the chatterbox around this community is the lack of butts and seats right now.
Is that something new there?
Well, I know, but I'm just saying.
That is a growing trend that, again, when we talked with Tom Berman just a few weeks ago, it's something that he's keeping his eye on. It's something that he's addressed many a time where, it was a question that I alluded to him of saying, hey, you got promotions over here at football to get fans into War Memorial Stadium. Are you going to try and do that for basketball? And he said, even if we tried, fans are still not going to at least determine to show up at the AA, barring if we do put up any promotions for Cowboy basketball games. It is something that it's an alarming trend at the AA. And as we're talking about changes needing to be made, is it something, again, I'm not saying that changes should be made regarding the Cowboy basketball program, but it is something that it's going to be interesting to watch throughout 2019 and 2020 of will that change be made?
Well, it's interesting, too, because you had Oregon State, Pac-12 team come into town, where they ended up.
Again, Oregon State, not the perennial powerhouse
but
of Pac-12.
It's still
basketball.
Pac-12. It still comes in there with a reputation. Nobody came out for that.
Okay.
I don't mean nobody. I'm just saying the crowds that are not coming out to the AA.
Yeah.
And again, when I would hate to be that guy, tonight's attendance 2,503, and you look above there's not 500 people in that place.
Yeah.
And you look at last night's pictures, there were not a lot of people seeing Detroit Mercy and the Cowboys. Again, it's not, poo-pooing the Cowboys. It's just that the product is not worth going out and seeing.
And it's proven so far here early on in this season that it really isn't. It's something where, sure, you took care of business pretty handily against Detroit Mercy, but who? What conference do they play in? Are they even Division I? Again, it's a question mark, just a part of that team. Congrats.
You lost to Cal State Fullerton prior to that, and then you got walloped at South Carolina.
Yeah.
You scored 32 points at South Carolina.
Again,
Big Comedy basketball team scored 32 points.
Not a whole lot. It's again an offense that is struggling. It's kind of a new direction under Coach Allen Edwards of this defensive first. Hey, kudos if you're trying to slow down the pace and get it more competitive where your offense can try to be in these contests. I completely get it, but right now the product that's on that court, whether it is in Laramie or throughout the nation or once we get into Mountain West play, it's a product that's reflecting that preseason poll that this is a team that's going to finish dead last in the Mountain West without a doubt. I think the road looks hard. In the small sample size we've seen of Wyoming Cowboy basketball, it is fair to assume and just say outright that this team is going to struggle to find wins again this season, without a doubt.
Take a look at the upcoming schedule. It gets a little tougher.
It gets pretty rough, yeah.
All right, we got to take time out. We are going to move into hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk today, our LCCC Coaches Show, on the way.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today being brought to you by Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons, open 7 days a week, Sundays, noon until 8. First Tier Bank directly across the street at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Lennox Auto Body, the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. Remember, it's not clean until it's Lennox clean, and of course, if you want it repaired to almost showroom new, then you take it over to the Lennox Auto Body on Dunn Avenue. B&B Appliance and TV at 714 Central Avenue. I want to thank my good friends, Bruce and the crew. The new microwave is in place at Casa de Proade. So, again, thank you to B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Avenue. See Bruce, and I'll tell you what, they've got all the name brands for you on the showroom floor. Medicamp Pharmacy, for all your pharmaceutical needs, open Monday through Saturday. See Gene, the great staff over there on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Delrange, right across from Menards and Powersfield, Ray and Cindy's Place. Dine in or use 2 convenient drive-thrus that Chick-fil-A offers to you. Platte Valley Bank, working the crew, invites you to see them on Vanda High or drop on by the East Side location on the way home tonight and see them at the corner of College and Pershing. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. AJ and the crew say shop for a great deal at our place. And again, the 20s are on the lot. Couple 19s still remaining. You're going to find some great deals on those 19s as well. Kick a few tires, take a test drive. Take home the Kia of your dreams tonight from Kia of Cheyenne. And we want to thank Taco John's of Cheyenne. Yes, the new prototype Taco John's is open on South Greeley Highway. Of course, you can dine downtown on Keri Avenue, north side on Yellowstone. How about Delrange and Ridge? Or see my good friend Diane and the crew over at Pershing and Ridge. Taco John's of Cheyenne. And we get things underway. Scoreboard time. It's being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
LCCC athletics to recap, whether it is from last night or today. We'll start with LCCC women's soccer from last night, getting the at least win on the road. Final in overtime, 3-2, as they defeated Monroe Community College. Today, earlier this morning, again, part of pool play at the national tournament, LCCC women's soccer took on Monroe College, both teams out of New York, but one's community college, one's the other college. But either way, though, LCCC women's soccer loses 3-2 today. Again, their season is officially over as they exit out the national tournament. LCCC men's soccer, they are competing down in Tyler, Texas last night as they competed against KRAE Community College. They won that contest 3-0. Today they will have at least contest against Tyler Junior College. That is happening at 4:30, at least down there in Tyler, Texas. From last night, a game you heard here on 1480 KRAE as LCCC men's basketball took on Northeastern Junior College. They're live at Sterling, Colorado, where unfortunately for LCCC it was a loss, 73-62, which we will talk here very shortly with head coach Jason Ficca about that contest. With that loss, LCCC does fall to 1-5 overall. LCCC women's basketball on the road as well. They were down in Trinidad, Colorado, taking on Trinidad State Junior College, where they won that contest 66-55. They are 3-3 overall. NHL action for tonight, only 2 games on the slate. You will see the Montreal Canadiens at home. They will host the Ottawa Senators. And last but not least, in Madison Square Garden in New York City, the New York Rangers will play host to the Washington Capitals. 6 o'clock is the start time for that contest, and you can see it nationally on NBC Sports Network. That's what's happening in NHL action for tonight.
Busy night on the hardwood as well. Wizards hosting the Spurs, 76ers in the Wells Fargo Center. They will have a date with the New York Knicks, Magic, Raptors at the Scotiabank Arena, Bucks, Hawks in the State Farm Arena, Cavaliers, Heat at American Airlines Arena, Barclays Center in Brooklyn, Nets and the Hornets tonight, Warriors and the Mavericks in Big D at American Airlines Center, United Center. The Bulls will have the Pistons, Jazz, Timberwolves on the Target Center. Rockets and the Nuggets tonight in the can at the Pepsi Center as Denver will entertain Houston. Houston 11-3, Denver 9-3. And at Staples, it will be the LA Clippers. They will host the Boston Celtics. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Alright, if you're a gamer, you know the world of gaming is full of amazing gear. Portable cannons, flying tanks, oh, like that one, mythic artifacts. But the most advanced tool in gaming today isn't even in the game. It's right in your hand. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel is purpose-built for gaming, created with pro gamers for gamers. What does that mean? It means it's formulated with ingredients that have been shown to improve accuracy, whoa, and alertness. And Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel tastes great too. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel even comes in a special can with a uniquely textured grip, so it's easy to refuel between respawns. The ones you're furiously trying to avoid? Hey, there we go. So next time you log online, gear up. Get the drink designed for gaming. Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOI FM and 1480 KRAE AM, are just that, local. Serving Cheyenne and Laramie County, where your advertising dollar stays local too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here, we shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOI and 1480 KRAE.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball, local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Sports Talk Today, LCCC Day. As we switch it around this season, we get the men in first, and the ladies will follow at 4:30. So head coach Jason Ficca joins us. We'll be again with Coach Ficca tomorrow evening in the RAC as they will take on nationally ranked Otero JC. The Rattlers coming to town.
And also, too, regarding that game, Coach Ficca will talk about the special meeting behind tomorrow's game, or at least the theme for tomorrow night over there live at the RAC about that contest. But, we look back to last night down in Sterling, Colorado, our first contest with the men here in 2019-2020, taking on an undefeated Northeastern Junior College team, a team that is sophomore laden, something where I talked about on the broadcast where it is kind of night and day in JUCO between freshmen, fresh out of the high school ranks, to sophomores who've been through the battles in JUCO where, last night it was a pretty tough go of it for LCCC and your squad there, Coach.
Yeah, we definitely have some freshman struggles, and it's freshmen are going to struggle, but frankly, we got to get better performance out of our sophomores. I think there was a combined 6 or maybe 8 points out of those three guys yesterday, and we need 24 points out of our three sophomores on a nightly basis. So definitely, I spoke to all three of those guys today about giving us more, being more aggressive offensively, better performance. Mateo Zovko has got to rebound the ball better, especially. He got 0 last night. So we need more of those sophomores. I generally don't like to call out players that way, but we got to have more. When you talk about that is the difference. That's a big difference in JUCO's sophomores and freshmen, and we know our freshmen are going to fluctuate in performance some, but we need those sophomores to be rocks.
Well, the big difference as well, too, and not to spotlight the sophomores or put it all on them, so to speak, but it was also to a combined team effort last night where, at least for Northeastern Junior College, again, getting a lot of early fouls in that contest, again, your team getting into the bonus pretty early in that first half and second half, eventually getting the double bonus. You look at free throw attempts and made, 21 for 38. Where a game where you lost by 11 points, where at least in the second half, got close within, I do believe, 5 points there, at least in the waning moments of that contest. Yep. Those free throws, those missed free throws, let's talk about that, were the big difference in that contest too.
Well, we talked about that in the pregame as well. NJC puts their opponents on the line 29 times. We knew that. We brought that to the attention of our team and said we're going to have to make free throws to stay in, especially on the road. Now, we weren't defending very well. We weren't defending well enough to be ahead in the first half, giving up 47 points and over 50% from the floor. But if we'd have made free throws, we would have stayed within arm's distance. Instead of being down 21, we're down, 9, 10, maybe 11. And then when you get things going and you make a run in the second half, then you're able to get over the hump. If we were keeping pace with some free throws, so that was an issue, definitely. And I don't want to make it sound like I blame the sophomores for a 1-5 start. What I made clear to them today is there's blame go all the way around, starting with the head coach down. But I believe those guys are the fix. They're the solution. They're not the problem. There's a lot of problems, but I believe the sophomores are the solution. Those guys need to step up, and if they will do what I know they're capable of, that will cure a lot of our ills.
Coach, you said this on the pregame show last night, and I'm glad Nick brought up the sophomore-laden starters last night for NJC. One of the things you made a point, and it's a credit to you and Coach Salisbury and to the individuals that have gone through the program in your now 14th season with LCCC as freshmen. They get a lot of looks.
Yeah.
And whether it's D1 or D2, and these youngsters have that opportunity to, with grades, they have that opportunity to go as a sophomore to that next level. And I know in our 3 years that we are covering LCCC, I think about 5 kids have left the program, en route to that next level. So it kind of sometimes handcuffs you where you're always constantly recruiting a freshman class to come in and pick up for the sophomores that graduated, but also too for the freshmen that left.
Yeah, we've been bitten by that in the last few years here, and we recruit on character and academic ability. We try to take those things heavily into account, and so you bring in a high character, high academic achiever. And if they perform well as a freshman, they're gone. And we've been bitten by that 6 or 8 times in the last 3 years. And probably an average of 2 guys a year, 1 or 2 a year for the last 3-4 years. So that's a big difference, not getting your best freshman to the second year. I mean, it's a huge difference. I think in the end we will make up for it with this team. But right now we're paying for it. After we go through a few more battles and we get some things sorted out and we get some things right, I don't think it'll be as big a factor. But right now, early on, it's a huge factor. Schedule's been challenged. We had the 4 straight road games in a row. We were supposed to have a home game in there to break it up, and that one got canceled. But the schedule turns in our favor. Overall, we have 15 home games and I guess now 14 road games. So we got overall a home-heavy schedule. Right now, we've played 4 out of 6 on the road, so that's going to start turning too. So we're primed to turn this thing around. But it's got to start with our performance on the court, and that's got to start tomorrow.
But that home, at least, contest is, we'll at least preview tomorrow night, a game that we'll have here on 1480 KRAE, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com, and video live streaming on Periscope, via Twitter, and also to the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. It doesn't get any easier, though, as you're talking about how tough this non-conference has been and how tested your team has been up to 6 games at this point. But tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, they're live at the rack. You take on a national ranked and number 12 team of the nation, Otero, the junior college Rattlers, a team that is also 2 undefeated. They're 8-0. It doesn't get any easier, at least coming up tomorrow night.
I mentioned to Dwayne earlier today, I said, I can't believe they've already played 8 games in 20 days. And then he said, Coach Lamar has played 10 games already. They've played 10 games in 20 days. They're playing every other day. They're going to have a lot of time on their hands the rest of the year. But yeah, no, Otero's playing very well. I've watched a little bit on video, not a ton. I'm going to do most of my work tonight on them. But, they've got a signature win early in the year over John Logan, John Logan has a kid on the team that people are saying is a one-and-done NBA guy. So I think that was an early first game of the year was a big win over John Logan, and then they've got some really solid wins on their schedule after that. So it's going to be a tough test tomorrow, and they're a good team, big athletic guards, and they'll be tough to handle.
We mentioned this last night on our pregame show, and I got to thinking about it more after we were heading home last night. The Region 9, whether it's south or north, boy, any night, one of these teams could knock somebody off. I mean, it is quality basketball up and down this Region 9.
Yeah, I haven't seen a whole lot of weak teams so far, and we've seen the whole, well, not the whole set, but most of the whole South. By this point, we've played 4 or 5 of those teams. We got Trinidad next week, so that'll be another one. There's a lot of what I've seen here of late with Region 9 the last few years is with 15, 16 teams, whatever we've had, there's been a huge difference between the top and 1 and 15. There's been a big difference. That gap is closing. The gap between 1 and 15 or 2 and 14, the top and the bottom is much narrower than it used to be. And I don't think it's because the top schools have gotten worse. I think it's because people at the bottom have gotten better, and so it's a very competitive region.
You mentioned as we get ready for Otero, as we're 1-5 right now. But have you? And I asked Coach Ortmeier this too last week. Have you pretty much installed all of the offense that you want to run? Obviously, defense is a different breed of cat. Sometimes you just go man and man or a very zone. But for your offensive plays, have you pretty much put that package in?
compared to last year or previous years, no. But my plan this year is to not, in the past years I've had to have a little cheat sheet in my pocket to remember all the plays. And it just, it had 20 things on it, a couple dozen when you add in out of bounds plays and special situations and things. I had 24 things on the list. Right now we have 4 plays. And then our continuity motion offense. And I'm going to try to keep it around 5, maybe 6 plays tops and really execute those things well. But those things will evolve. We've already made a change to one of those plays and just tweaked it a little bit, added a little extra action on it. So I don't see us adding plays here as we go. I just see us tweaking the current plays, adding elements here and there as we see, hey, well, we need to add some sort of a post-catch opportunity here or something like that. So we won't have a whole big long list, 5 or 6 tops, I think, and then they'll evolve as we go.
Kind of keep it simple early on and then advance it once we get closer to Region 9 North action, at least in year 2020. But, final question for me, at least for you, Coach, as we alluded to and talked about, again, we have a contest coming up tomorrow, Otero Junior College, again, number 12 ranked team in the nation coming to town at the RAC, 6 o'clock start time, pregame show here on 1480 KRAE, 5:40-ish. But just talk about at least there's a little special meaning behind tomorrow's contest, or at least for folks to come on out to the RAC. Talk about the special, at least, event happening tomorrow for that contest.
Well, over the last year or two, I think starting last year, all of our athletics, we got, at some point, most of our teams have gotten involved and helped out with the Friday food bag people. And actually, I think we're headed over there tonight, 5 o'clock. We're headed over there. I can't make it personally, but I know Coach Salisbury is going to take a few guys that aren't in class and help out with the food bag filling. But the Friday food bag people, they distribute bags of food every Friday to hungry kids. So it's a pretty worthy cause, and we're going to donate all the ticket sales revenue for tomorrow's game to the Friday food bag organization. And we're going to try to lend some money, and also we like to lend a helping hand. Like I said, I know 4, 5, 6 of our guys will be over there tonight filling up bags. Yeah.
So, again, tomorrow at least go out to the RAC. Again, ticket proceeds going to that great cause. Again, all 100% of those proceeds. So, again, a worthy cause. Go out and support LCCC Athletics. Again, that is a start time of 6 o'clock. They're live on the campus of LCCC at the RAC building.
When you help out and you go to the food bag warehouse where they do this, and you see when you're done and you see the hundreds of bags of food on the shelves that get distributed on Fridays, and you realize every one of those represents a hungry kid, a kid that doesn't have enough food over the weekend, it's pretty sobering. And then when you talk to the people and you say, this isn't even reaching, a small percentage, not even half or a quarter of all the kids that need this food, it's pretty sobering how many kids in this community don't get enough to eat.
Coach, we look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow evening at the RAC. Again, it'll be Otero and the LCCC Golden Eagles. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a safe ride home.
Thanks,
guys. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with Erik Oliver, Cheyenne East product, after these words.
There's a place where possibilities are boundless, where curiosity runs rampant, where exploration becomes opportunity. With Laramie County Community College, you can discover the best version of yourself. It's time to take on new challenges, to enrich your life, and to create the future you deserve. Your story unfolds. Laramie County Community College. Apply today. Visit lccc.wy.edu/yourstory.
What is Schwab's modern approach to investing? It's great service. It's transparency about how much you're paying in fees and commissions. It's offering some of the lowest costs in the industry backed by a satisfaction guarantee. If you're not satisfied for any reason, they'll refund the eligible fees and work with you to make things right. So ask yourself, are you getting low cost and award-winning service? If not, maybe it's time to call Schwab. Visit Sam at the Cheyenne Independent Branch or schwab.com/Cheyenne for more information. Charles Schwab and Company, Incorporated. Member SIPC.
Family owned and operated Lennox Auto Body, along with the Auto Glass and Detail Center, has been serving our community for over 25 years with quality service and workmanship. So when you want it done right the first time, call Lennox Auto Body at 634-6608 for an appointment. Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue. And the Auto Glass and Detail Center, remember, it's not clean until it's Lennox clean at 617 East Pershing Boulevard.
Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
When you are dealing with the coin shop to buy, sell, or trade your gold, silver, or other precious metals, you will be met with honesty, fairness, knowledge, and exceptional customer service. The coin shop has been serving Cheyenne since 1982 and is a respected member of our community. Call David today at 778-7196 to meet privately or visit during regular business hours, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. The Coin Shop, a dealer you can trust, 510 West 16th Street.
Welcome to the biggest thing in tacos since tacos. Introducing the Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. That's right, we said it. Perfecto. That's Spanish for perfect. We redesigned it with an aerodynamic shell to give you the best bite every bite. Choose between seasoned to perfection beef, chili lime chicken, or upgrade to hand-carved sirloin steak. Sure, it was hard to perfect, but it's easy to eat. The Taco Perfecto from Taco John's. Bigger, bolder, better.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with snow likely throughout the day with highs around 26. For tonight, it'll be cloudy once again with snow likely throughout the evening with lows around 18 and winds out of the north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Thursday, it'll be more of the same with cloudy skies with highs around 26. And on Thursday night, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 16.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
On Wyoming Sports Talk today, Larry Peroletti along with Nick Peroletti, and I thought I had it fixed.
Go figure that the mic has a problem once again.
You know, and I ordered the cords.
You might want to just join on this mic here as we're having difficulties. Sorry about that, Eric. As we have Eric Oliver in with us.
Well, okay.
You might want to just come over here and just do at least the interview over here with us.
All right, Eric. Last night you had 19 points. You and Damien had 19 points. In the loss at Sterling against NJC, off to a 1-5 start. You know, I mean, you had a pretty doggone good career at Cheyenne East, and kind of tough right now to be 1-5, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's not something I'm used to, but the good thing about it is it's the beginning of the season. So I mean, we have like 25 games left or 24, whatever the case may be. So, like I said, we're at the bottom right now, so the only way is up. So we just got to keep grinding, and we'll get a win eventually.
You being the freshman, and ask this of all the coaches, and the typical response is bigger, faster, stronger. Seeing these sophomore guys, and they know the drill. 4 of them started for NJC last night, and you've seen this when you've gone to North Platte. You've seen this when you went to McCook, so you know what I'm talking about. Difference. It's a night and day difference coming from the high school ranks, being a freshman, and then of course seeing these guys that have already played a year of JUCO basketball.
Oh yeah, definitely. The biggest difference for me was the physicality part of it, and these guys, a lot bigger, a lot stronger in high school, a lot faster, like you said. So I think the biggest thing is, it's more like the mental part of, I can still play with these guys, and just because they might be like a couple inches taller, stronger, faster, that well, we're on the same court too, so you have to battle me as much as I have to battle.
And this being our third year of calling the games, and of course your brother Elijah was there his sophomore season. How much of a factor was he to prepare you to get ready for basketball at LCCC?
Oh, it was huge. In the off season, he talked to me a bunch. I always asked him advice about, what's going to be the biggest difference, and he just told me the game, the speed of the game, and the physicality. And I was kind of like nervous going into the jamboree in early October. Kind of asked, what to expect, and he just told me the same thing. bigger, stronger, faster guys. But, like you've prepared for this too all off season. You've been in the weight room all off season, so you'll be just fine. And I've kind of taken, that advice. I've kind of watched his film, see what he's kind of did, trying to get around bigger guys and stuff like that. And I'm trying to put that into my game too.
And being at least with Cheyenne East and traveling across Wyoming, whether it is going up to Gillette, Sheridan, Casper, again, those road trips get very long and tiring. Again, stuck on that bus where legs get a little tiring. But, you've been on the road trips here, whether it was out to McCook, North Platte, down to Sterling. You got a few more coming up. Again, we'll join you for Utah State Eastern all the way for that long road trip coming up this season. But is road trips any easier, or, again, are you accustomed to that, or is it something that, you've kind of prepared yourself for those long distance trips out here in the great kind of Rocky Mountain region?
I think I'm used to it with the distance wise, but I mean the difference from the high school is just like everybody on the bus is more focused in the college, where on high school you just be goofing around doing stuff on the bus, playing games or whatever. So yeah, I think just the team, we just all our headphones in pretty much the whole way, try to get our our rest or sleep, our afternoon naps that we normally would take or whatever the case may be. And then just like the traveling time's different. You would leave around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock instead of earlier in the morning, missing a whole day of school. So I think that's just the biggest difference, just the focusing part of that.
And plus it's nice, instead of riding the school buses, hey, you got a charter bus, which is a little bit more at least comfy to make those long road trips. But last time we had you in here was at least your announcement that you were committing to LCCC to play basketball for head coach Jason Ficca. Here you are again, 6 games in your freshman season with LCCC, and again doing phenomenal things right now for the Golden Eagles. But be remiss as we talk with a lot of our newbies, so to speak, with LCCC, whether it is soccer, volleyball, or basketball. What are you currently studying right now at LCCC?
Business management.
Is that something that you're just looking to kind of continue on, or kind of just dipping your toes in, seeing how it goes?
I kind of dip my toes in it. So I think I'm going to be switching my major at semester just to more social sciences degree. But, I mean, I just wanted to see what it was about, kind of want to get into the business world. But, I mean, it's only my freshman year, so I have time to decide.
Again, Cheyenne, Wyoming, its own little part of the world. You've played against, the Gillettes and the Sheridans and all that in high school. And then I'm watching Damian Perry. He's from Massachusetts. And then we saw Ash out there, and he's from Toronto, Canada. And again, Mateo's from Bosnia. You see all these different locations, of guys on your team. Basketball is basketball, but do you see the different styles of hoops from all of these different areas?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I see it a lot more in Damian. Damian Perry. He's a typical, fast, strong guard. Never back down. My mom, she's from Boston, so he's coming from there, so I kind of knew what the attitude that he kind of brings to the team, and I knew that coming in, and he's the perfect example of just he's not going to back down, he's going to get in there and get dirty. And then Ash just being big and strong. We really don't see that in high school basketball here in Cheyenne or in just Wyoming in general. So yeah, I mean I've seen the different kind of plays, but mostly in Damian for sure.
Yeah, last night Ash could have tore down about 3 buckets the way he was hanging on them at Sterling. Real quick here, you got Otero coming up. And Coach made the reference, especially to to Courtney and Kyle and to give me my other Mateo Zovko. Anyway, I had a senior moment there. But them being the sophomores, your situation, being the freshman and again being the local guy. Sometimes you don't want to step on any toes, and you expect these guys to step forward and take over that leadership role. Are you kind of nudging them a little bit, or are you saying, hey, you know what, you guys want to do it, I'll do it?
I mean, I really haven't spoke to him that much about the leadership role. I think that's more of, I guess, like Coach Ficca's job, like he's been doing to them. But I mean, I've had conversations to where it's like, I've seen the frustration with Kyle and Courtney and, what, they're frustrated about. And we've just talked about that. But as far as the leadership goes, I mean, they're there, they make sure we're there in practice. We're always on time to stuff. So I think they're doing fine on there, despite of maybe some little bit of troubles on the court. I think they're great leaders. And whatever, Coach Ficca wants them to do, or Salisbury, they'll do the job that they need to do. And like I said, it's early in the season. We're all just trying to figure out, we're a young team, so we're just trying to figure out, where everybody belongs, and they're doing a great job of just kind of, letting us know what to expect. And so, like I said, despite their struggles on the court, they're really great off the court, and they'll pick it up on the court eventually.
Well, we wish you all the best tomorrow night. We'll see you against Otero, and we'll be catching up with you quite a bit down the road. Eric Oliver joined us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Take a time out. We'll come back with more of our LCCC Coaches Show. We'll talk with Brian Ortmeier, the women's head coach, after this right here on 1480 KRAE. First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY-FM, and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures, makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Larry Proetti at 307-637-0301.
The team at Chick-fil-A, Windmill and Delrange, directly across from Powers Field and Menards, are proud sponsors of the student athletes for the 2019-2020 school year for high school and LCCC. Not only do they support the athletes, but they are ready for your next cater-out event, meeting, or gathering. A special thank you to Chick-fil-A and all they do for 1480 KRAE and our sister station KYOI-FM during the year. For more information, call Chick-fil-A at 638-4444.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Capital Lumber is number one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need.
Since 1966, family-owned and operated Capital Lumber Company has been the stop for all lumber, paint, tools, accessories, remodel and do-it-yourself projects, and so much more. Now, Capital Lumber Company announces the beginning of a tasty relationship with Traeger Grills, as they now have in stock several models of Traeger Grills, along with pellets and accessories. Capital Lumber Company at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne.
Give your family and friends the gift of safety and security this holiday season with B&B Appliances' lineup of Ring doorbells and security cameras. Monitor your surroundings from the convenience of your phone or tablet. Any customer who purchases one of their connected home products will receive a free Google Mini while supplies last. B&B Appliance and TV, 714 Central Ave. Best brands, hometown service.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on the show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480, KRAE.
We're back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Proetti along with Nick Proetti. And again, apologize for this situation. So I'm going to move over and join.
He's going to move over to here as, again, nothing has changed since I've been away, Coach, for a week, as he's going to join you on that side of things. But
I want to pick it up here real quick, Coach. You know, last time we talked was on a Tuesday. And, again, that's when you were losing to Otero, a game where they jumped out. You battled back, actually took the lead, and then, of course, they had the horses to, take them the rest of the way. But since then, you've played a lot of basketball, and, you're starting to see the improvement in your kids.
Yeah, absolutely. And to start with the Otero game,
My message to the girls afterwards is I was really proud of their fight to come all the way back and to take the lead. And it's just kind of one of those things. Basketball is always going to be a game of momentum swings, and we pushed the momentum about as far as we possibly could to get that lead. But again, you kind of push so hard, sometimes you run out of gas. Otero made a couple plays down the stretch that they needed. They started attacking us harder off the dribble, and we needed to stay disciplined to get them cut off. So, but yeah, we've had some better play recently. The key message is consistency. We'll have a great quarter. We'll put up 23 points, and then all of a sudden the next quarter it's 14, and then so we're kind of riding this roller coaster from quarter to quarter, game to game. But we're one play away at Colby from winning the last three. There's kind of a last-second scramble, or the ball's on the ground. Girl flips it up. Sure enough, it goes to a girl from Colby, and she lays it in with 0.5 seconds. So again, we're about a half second away from being 3-0 in our last three games, but we're playing some good basketball now. It's becoming more consistent and cleaning some things up.
Well, here you are again, as we've alluded to, or at least talked about before getting into 2019-2020 with you, Coach, where this is a team that's going to become the road warriors, so to speak. Where again, here in the month of November, at least that Otero contest was your only home contest there live at the rack. Where we saw last night down at Trinidad. You'll be on more road trips. So again, we'll join you for Otero and a few others. You'll have that Yuma, Arizona trip, but as we're seeing, again, you mentioned Colby, Kansas. You were out in Nebraska, North Platte, and McCook joining the men at least a few weekends ago. Talk about at least getting these young ladies, especially the freshmen, prepared for those trips out here across Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado, going down to Arizona. How do you get them prepared, or at least kind of mentally and physically prepared for the grueling road trips that you're going to have here early on in the non-conference?
Sure. It gets them battle tested quickly. It gets them, it's basically trial by fire, because you're playing quality opponents on the road. You don't have that home crowd behind you. You've been on a bus probably for 3+ hours, and it does eventually kind of takes a little bit of a toll on the team. But the girls have handled it well to this point, and I think again it gets you ready for that back half of the schedule, so you kind of know what to expect. You know how to travel at that point. But you go into some tough places to play. Obviously the officiating is always going to be a little different on the road. But again, the girls, they're going to get that early test. And then, once you get that home crowd behind you and you're playing in a familiar gym, it makes a big difference. So, again, I think for our girls, it's been very beneficial to be starting on the road.
I know one of the young ladies we're going to talk to has been a very good addition to your team. One of the things that I've seen with the Lady Gold Eagles, just in the one game, and my take from it was very good from the outside shooting. You have to be very happy that you've got guys, you got ladies, I should say, that can hit from anywhere beyond the perimeter. But I also was very impressed with Abby Giroux, especially when you were going up against Otero that night, where they were big and they were physical, and Abby held her own, and she was not afraid to go in battle. So you've got that warrior underneath now, and you've got the marksman outside.
Yeah, absolutely. And now it's kind of getting them to play better off each other, to really have that balance. So we don't have those 5-minute stretches where basically you can't get to the free throw line. You're settling for tough shots, contested shots. We've got to be able to play off the inside out. So again, once we get Abby going, once we get Kia going, once we get some of those interior players going, we've got to be able to go to the well, get an easy two, get to the free throw line. And then once we get them going, that's when we really start freeing up some shots for Sam and Haley and some of our three-point shooters. So it's a good balance that we have between the inside and the outside, but now we've really got to get them to kind of gel better, to be able to play off each other.
3-3 thus far. Are you, I don't want to use the word satisfied. Are you a little disappointed at that mark? Should you be higher, or are you right where you expect to be?
It's early. I'll put it that way. So our big thing, and I've talked to the girls about it a lot, is getting better with each day, getting better with each game. And, again, we lose on a last-second thing to Colby. Otero, we take the lead back late. We just didn't hold on. So, again, with a couple coin flips, we're sitting here 5-1 or 6-0 if we take care of business with McCook the first game, and you can't get them back. So you learn from it, and, I think for the girls it's a good learning experience, and we just have to continue to grow.
As we at least talk about again last night, getting the victory against Trinidad State down there in Trinidad, Colorado. Now you have a week break before you head back down to Colorado, at least to Otero Junior College, to see the Lady Rattlers, that contest that we will bring here on 1480 KRAE live there from at least Colorado. But, a week off.
Nick.
Yeah, I was trying. I was confident, but I just didn't want to say either way. But again, Tuesday the 26th, you got some time before at least your next contest. What's the approach right now this week? Is it getting some rest, addressing some needs on the team? I mean, what's the week look like before Otero?
Today was getting some rest and making sure our academic things are in order, just simply because we're 3 weeks away from finals and everybody heading home for Christmas. So today was a little bit more. We shot some free throws. We did just a little bit of conditioning, got in the weight room, and again, kind of touched base on grades to see where everybody was at. Thursday and Friday, it's cleaning some things up offensively. We, I think, still scored 66 last night, but that was with 31 turnovers. So we have to do a much, much better job of taking care of the basketball. We've left points off the board from free throws, not finishing layups, not finishing with contact around the rim. So those are a couple things that we're really going to focus in on. And then, again, just getting better spacing and better movement on our perimeter so it's not so easy to double team our inside game.
And talk about this week-long, at least, break in between contests. Looking at your team right now overall, health-wise, are we, again, near 100%? Are we fighting off some nagging injuries, bugs? I mean, what's the status right now with the Lady Golden Eagles?
We're 100%. We've got some people it's just your typical nagging type things, nagging injuries. But we don't have anybody out, so we're very fortunate right now.
Brian Ortmeier joining us on our coaches show here, the LCCC Lady Golden Eagles head coach, 3-3 on the season. Going to get a week off again. We'll catch up with them at La Junta next week against the Otero Lady Rattlers, as again, hopefully a little revenge on the mind of the Lady Golden Eagles. Our program today being brought to you by Laramie County Community College. We're back with Sam Hester after these words right here in 1480 KRAE.
There's a place where possibilities are boundless, where curiosity runs rampant, where exploration becomes opportunity. With Laramie County Community College, you can discover the best version of yourself. It's time to take on new challenges, to enrich your life, and to create the future you deserve. Your story unfolds. Laramie County Community College. Apply today. Visit lccc.wy.edu/yourstory.
What if your bank was more than a bank? What if they gave their resources and the time and talents of their employees to make their community just a little bit better? At Platte Valley Bank, we do just that. Hi, this is Rick Flood, president of Platte Valley Bank, and we are proud to support local events, causes, organizations, and charities that make our area a great place to live. Platte Valley Bank, putting our customers and communities first. Stop in or check us out at pvbank.com.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner. What is Schwab's modern approach to investing? It's great service. It's transparency about how much you're paying in fees and commissions. It's offering some of the lowest costs in the industry backed by a satisfaction guarantee. If you're not satisfied for any reason, they'll refund the eligible fees and work with you to make things right. So ask yourself, are you getting low cost and award-winning service? If not, maybe it's time to call Schwab. Visit Sam at the Cheyenne Independent Branch or schwab.com/Cheyenne for more information. Charles Schwab and Company, Incorporated. Member SIPC. Family-owned and operated Lennox Auto Body, along with the Auto Glass and Detail Center, has been serving our community for over 25 years with quality service and workmanship. So when you want it done right the first time, call Lennox Auto Body at 634-6608 for an appointment. Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue. And the Auto Glass and Detail Center, remember, it's not clean until it's Lennox clean at 617 East Pershing Boulevard.
Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
When you are dealing with the Coin Shop to buy, sell, or trade your gold, silver, or other precious metals, you will be met with honesty, fairness, knowledge, and exceptional customer service. The Coin Shop has been serving Cheyenne since 1982 and is a respected member of our community. Call David today at 778-7196 to meet privately or visit during regular business hours, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. The Coin Shop, a dealer you can trust, 510 West 16th Street.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with snow likely throughout the day with highs around 26. For tonight, it'll be cloudy once again with snow likely throughout the evening with lows around 18 and winds out of the north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. On Thursday, it'll be more of the same with cloudy skies with highs around 26. And on Thursday night, it'll be mostly cloudy with lows around 16.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today, our LCCC Coaches Show. Now we get a chance to talk to the ladies, and we get a chance to talk to Sam Hester, who is a freshman. Real quick, Sam, we'll introduce you to our audience. Tell us where you're from, obviously a freshman, and what are you majoring in at LCCC?
I'm from Saratoga Springs, Utah, and I'm majoring in natural science biology concentration right now, but I don't really know what I want to really go into.
Let's talk about the basketball season as Coach Ortmeier asked you to come play here at LCCC. 3-3 on the season. I watched you against Otero. That was my only time that I've had the chance to see the Lady Golden Eagles. Of course, you've been on the road a lot. So far, your experiences with the Lady Golden Eagles, and again, Jakia along with Haley, they're the veterans. They've been there. They know the drill. Tell us a little bit what it's been like for the first 6 games.
I think it's been pretty good. It's a lot different from high school basketball, I think, because it's a lot quicker. And, my high school team, it was, we kind of just sat on the outside. So I feel like now we're looking to drive more, which is, a little different for me. So I just need to focus on that. And I think that we're doing pretty good. There's just some things that we need to work on with, passing the ball and our defense, I think we really need to focus on. So,
and as we talk about Coach Ortmeier, and something that we, at least I'll mention with you, Sam, of 6 games into the season so far, your 7th game will also to be on the road down at Otero, where 5 of the 6 have been already on the road. In the high school ranks, you're traveling on the school buses. As we talk with Eric Oliver, hey, it's completely night and day difference. But have you gotten accustomed to it so far, those 5 road trips, whether it was at Kansas or out to Nebraska? Have you gotten accustomed to it? Do you feel like, I could get used to this as we get prepared for more longer road trips, especially once we get into Region 9 action later on in conference play?
Yeah, so in high school, the most we traveled was about 2 hours. So going to Kansas, which was 8 hours away, was a lot different. I think I just need to on the bus think about the game, because on the bus you get really tired. So when I get to the game, I just need to focus on the game and not focus on how tired I am and stuff.
Let's talk about the difference. As you mentioned, there's a difference it's in the game from high school to college. And again, with Coach Ortmeier, looking at your last high school coach, Coach Ortmeier, as well as Coach Ronaldo, talk about the differences. Plays, setups, screens. Tell us how different is the game from high school?
I think it's really different. With college basketball, the opposing team defensively is a lot tighter. In high school, they wouldn't play as tight. And with our plays in high school, a lot of teams played against man with us, so we would have a lot of screens and stuff. And I feel now in college, we need to set more screens. Lately, we haven't been getting open, I guess, and moving the ball around. So I think we need to work on that. But the differences is mainly offensive, stuff like that.
Now, I know you like to shoot a lot behind the arc, and again, there's nothing wrong with that, especially when you connect on the threes. That gets this radio announcer pretty excited when you hit those trifectas. But again, are there plays designed for you to shoot, or do the coaching staff just say, hey, if it's open, shoot it?
Yeah, I guess if it's open, just shoot it. Like, we have plays where they're like, I guess if you're in the corner and it's open, pass it. But I feel like it's not really, like, focused on the threes, but, like, if it's open, take it.
Without a doubt. Now, as we look back to last night's contest down at Trinidad State, where you are a starter for head coach Brian Ortmeier, you got 11 points in that contest last night, a big contribution to that victory against the Lady Trojans down there on the road. But, you know, as we're talking about differences between high school, you know, starting there and now starting on JUCO with LCCC, with faces that you're not familiarized, at least again, so early on to the season, but you know, getting into that starting role, getting on that court at this point in time, 6 games in, do you still get butterflies? Do you still kind of get those nerves as you step onto the court, or are you kind of accustomed right now and just play Sam Hester basketball?
I think I still get butterflies, like, before the game and, like, once we're starting. But, like, once I start to play, those butterflies go away and I just, like, play my game.
Did you feel when you first came here to Cheyenne like you knew nobody on the team? You know, your new coach, you know, they recruited you and wanted you to come here. But as you've been together now for a few months, do you feel pretty comfortable around your teammates?
Yeah, I feel a lot more comfortable. Like, before I came, I know I was so nervous and scared to meet the team because I didn't know, like, if they were going to like me or, like, if they were going to be nice. But, yeah, I think that it's a lot better now, and, like, I know everyone and I like everyone.
You know, and that's important, too. You know, not so much liking everyone, but knowing everyone. Are you starting to see the different styles on the floor? Like, we know Haley, you know, we saw her last year, and we know she likes to pop from the outside, and we know she's very aggressive underneath, and Jakia is very strong. But are you adapting to all these different styles on the floor that you know? I know where Jakia is going to be at. I know where Haley is going to be at. I know where Abby's going to be at. Are you starting to feel that every time you're on the floor?
Yeah, I think it's getting a lot better. Like, in the beginning, I didn't know exactly, like, how everyone, like, moved, if I was going to drive and, like, kick it out and stuff. I think it's a lot better now. Like, if I'm covered on the outside, I always know to look down at Abby because she's usually open posting up. And I think it's getting better. Like, I know where people are going to cut and, like, whether I should pass it or not. So,
getting more into your background, Sam, going back to at least your high school days, was basketball your only sport that you competed in, or did you compete in other, at least, activities in your high school?
I only did basketball. Basketball was pretty much my life.
so again, give us kind of the background then of how did you determine that basketball was for you? How did you fall in love with the sport? How did you know that you wanted to continue on, at least here, JUCO, or at least in the next level with your basketball career? Just talk about the emotions, the feelings, that, again, the love, so to speak, for the sport of basketball.
I started when I was probably in, like, 3rd grade just because my dad wanted us to play basketball. I don't have any brothers, so it was pretty much all of us sisters just started to play basketball ever since we were young. And just ever since then, I've just loved, like, being aggressive and playing on a team. And I think that I've always just wanted to keep working my way up all the way up to college, and knew that I just wanted to keep going with it.
And now, as we talk about it again, here you are, JUCO, playing basketball with LCCC, your freshman year, again, starting under Coach Brian Ortmeier. You know, looking forward, or at least ahead, 2019-2020 for your freshman year. Any goals that you set for yourself, whether it is hitting this many points at a game, getting, you know, working on free throws, hitting so many threes? Did you set any goals for yourself for this season?
Probably not, like, specific goals, but I know, like, if I'm open, I should shoot it. And, like, I don't know. Other goals is probably just, like, to have good defense, and, like, our coach says you can't have off nights on defense. So I just think I always need to give 100% on defense first, and then that'll come along to offense and, like, bring it to that side.
Being away from home, probably your first time being away from home, did you feel a little bit of that homesickness early, but now that you're into the basketball season, you kind of forget about it a little bit?
Yeah, like, in the beginning, not having games, it, like, felt pretty long, not seeing my family. But, like, since we've started our games, I've noticed that, like, it's gone a lot faster, and, like, I get to see them soon. So it's just, like, yeah, I probably lost that homesickness a lot. So,
what is your immediate plan after leaving LCCC? Obviously, you want to continue your education. If you had that opportunity, would you still continue on your basketball?
Yeah, I think I want to keep playing basketball just because I love it so much, and it's taken up a lot of my life, which I don't mind. I love it. So, yeah, I'll probably keep going after.
And obviously you had a good high school career because, again, you know, if you didn't have a good high school career, Coach Ortmeier wouldn't be looking at you, or, you know, other coaches. So what attracted you to Laramie County Community College in Cheyenne?
I don't know, because I know I was thinking about not playing after high school just because I was like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. And then like coach reached out to me and I was like, no, I'm going to miss basketball, because even like after a month, I knew I wanted to keep playing. So like once he reached out to me, I knew I wanted to go there.
All right. Well, we want to thank Sam Hester for joining us on our coaches show. Again, thank you to Brian Ortmeier, as well as Jason Ficca, along with Eric Oliver. So that's going to wrap up our coaches show here on 1480 KRAE. So Nick, we're going to say bye-bye until Friday.